Collar.
Welcome to Open Collar, the only show that kicks through pop culture like Rocky Colt and Tum Tum Take Down Bad Guys. I am Corey Willis. He is Steve McCoy. This is Open Collar. Welcome to the show.
I used to love that movie.
YouTube.com at Open Collar Pod. Three Ninjas?
Oh, man. Like, it was... I would have been what? Like, that came out in 89, 90, I would say. In and around then.
Yeah.
And each of them had, like, their mask, and one was blue, one was red, one was green, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, what was it? Rocky, Tom Tom, and what was the first one? Yeah.
Colt. Rocky Colt.
Yes. And those were the types of movies that made me think I could be a ninja when I was a kid. That, American Ninja, all these others.
If children can do it, obviously anybody can do it.
And then there was that, he was in that movie. Who was the guy? He was in a lot of martial arts movies, but he was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. He was an Asian kid, but he was good at karate. And that was kind of his niche.
Yeah.
Eddie, or he had like a very...
Yeah, I know he was a Kino in Turtles 2, but it's like...
That's right, yeah. And he delivered the pizza, and they became friends.
Is his last name like Reyes or something? Eddie
Reyes?
No,
it's a very... I feel like it's Eddie, but it's
Eddie.
Eddie. Yeah, no, it was... What are we looking at here?
No, we're obviously going to be...
Who's going to get there first, Corey? Who's going to get there first? Let's see. Oh, I think you might have it.
Ernie
Reyes. Yes, you were right.
Yeah, he was Kino. He's also in The Rundown. That was like a newer movie. If you saw that one with Dwayne Johnson.
No, I did not see that movie.
That was like what put The Rock on the map for movies. Let's see. Yeah, like he's in like Last Dragon, Red Sonja. Some of those. Yeah, Turtles 2. Surf Ninjas. Like right there. You can surf and be a ninja.
It's not even his picture that comes up. There's an immediate trailer for The Rundown with the picture of The Rock.
Right? At IMDb, they're good for that. It's like I'm not going to show you who it is. I'm going to show you a movie that he's in, and you can guess of the ones that you don't recognize.
This is what they're known for. This is what they're known for. So what was the last thing that he had starred in? Has it been a minute?
I gave up. I closed it.
Oh, wow. How I got there in 2022. Oh, Superstore. I've never seen it, but it's a show.
It was, yeah. A show that lasted
3 seasons.
No, longer than that.
Oh, sorry. He was on the show
in season 3.
Yeah. 6 seasons. That's not bad.
Respectable. Yeah. Ashley liked it. I didn't care. For me, it was like watching The Office set in a superstore.
So here's a question: If a TV show is not created to be just 1 season or 2 seasons, then what is that magic number of seasons where it needs to be respected? Regardless if you like it, but just respect it for what it is.
Like respected because it had longevity?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of shitty shows that went on for a long time. But you're saying it could be shitty, but you got to give it props for going 12 seasons?
Right.
Like The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, I was thinking... well, I'll let you answer the question while I think of mine.
I think my thinking, I guess, would probably be based on the old linear TV model of if a show went 100 episodes and made it to syndication, it was considered a hit.
Right.
So that's if you go 4 seasons of 25 episodes is 100 episodes. So I would say, yeah, I'd have to go at least 5 because then that's gravy.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I'll go back to 100 episodes. 100 episodes would be however many seasons that is. Because if you're cable now and you do 100 episodes, that's like what 10 years at 13 episodes?
I would say. So Prison Break is an example of a show that just should have been 1 season. It would have been great.
It's in the title, Prison Break. Once they broke out of prison, end of show.
That's it.
But my understanding was it was always supposed to be a mid-season replacement. Like, there was just supposed to be like 6 episodes and then gone. But it was just so popular. Like, fuck.
Didn't they have like tattoos on? Like, what's that?
Just keep writing obstacles so they can't get out.
Oh god. But there was that show. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was like a network drama, and it was something's wife. Was it the attorney's wife or the judge's wife, or it was something's wife?
Okay. Yeah.
Went on because it was an extramarital affair. This guy was a politician, and it was about his wife having to deal with the ramifications of being in the public eye. And then it just went on.
Oh, The Good Wife.
The Good Wife. Thank you. You answered that like you've seen it.
I have not.
Okay, yes. Good. Just shows like that, you know? Uh-oh.
What'd I do?
I don't know. Are we dealing with technology issues? You had a look of concern on your face.
Did I?
You did. Totally did. Sorry, audio listeners.
No, I'm just.
We're gonna play by our facial expressions.
When you're on computers and things pop up, you have to read what those pop-ups are and close them.
Right, 100%. Click here. Buy now.
Save enlarge money. What? No, thank you.
Enlarge.
So what's your sweet spot? What's your magic number for a show needs to go to be respected?
I have 2 answers. If it's a 12, 13 episode per season show, I'm going to say 6. If it's a half-hour show, I'm going to say... Sorry, vice versa. If it's a 13 episode guy, I'll say 4. And if it's a half-hour episode runtime, I'll say 6 or 7. Because you need to stretch it out a bit. And I find that those ones, you don't really get much out of half an hour, 20 minutes. But I guess I'm not really playing by their own rules in my own question, so I'm going to stick to one answer. I'm going to say 5.
5 seems like it's a happy medium.
Yeah, I think so. Because 5, you're kind of still riding the high of, like, you know, water cooler talk, and this is great, and did you catch it last night, and what are your thoughts on next season? But it's not far enough ahead where it's like, oh, are we still talking about this on Monday morning? You know?
But then again, you have the classics that just blow right out of that. Like with something like Cheers went on 11 years, or like we still have Law and Order like 20 some seasons later.
But do you count that though? Because it's like different actors, different, like it's almost like a reset. It's a retcon for TV shows.
You just brought in a new artist and writer to take over the series, but it's still Batman.
That's right. Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think if a show, let's say, went left and came back, does that tarnish the legacy?
No, I would say it almost
like Roseanne, right? You know, Roseanne came back, and then it's the Connors now.
Yeah, see, I think it depends on how it finished and under what context it's coming back. Because you can tell really quickly, or I feel like most people should be able to tell really quickly if it's just a cash grab or just a, you know, grasping at straws trying to bring something back when really nobody wanted it. Roseanne might be under that. Like, did we really need a Roseanne show?
No.
I mean, like, her political beliefs and like her character limitations and all that aside, do we really need it? We didn't.
No, I think like a big thing about it was we had less portrayals of like the blue collar family on TV than we had, you know, with back when they were on TV. Because, you know, you had like Grace Under Fire, or you had
it was Reagan's America and George Bush's America, where it was like, you know, blue collar working, you know, middle class Americans, all that, yada yada yada. Now,
and it went all elitist.
That's right.
So you had to clean up your toys.
Okay. Yes, I did. So I was setting my studio up, and knocked something over, went to go pick it up, bent down, and not realizing that the shelf is right above where my head is, stood up as if nothing was there, and just flew everywhere. flew everywhere, and they're all just piled up now. I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm not cleaning it up right
Not
now.
today.
Not today. No, not today.
It's future Steve's problem.
That's right. That's a Saturday Steve problem.
Oh,
Yep.
the Saturday Steve. And fall ball is almost done.
Last weekend.
5%.
Well, last weekend,
What?
and then that I'm involved in, and then next weekend he starts baseball like clinics, which I'm not involved in. So, yes,
Just love the baseball.
it's
Although
true. I really do.
Watching it as much now that the Stros are out.
I know it's terrible. It's terrible.
And the Blue Jays did nothing.
Yeah, go Padres, I guess is what I'm saying. I was gonna say go Brewers, but depending on when you're listening to this or how close you pay attention, the Brewers also lost last night. Anyway, it is what it is. You know,
Just like cross them off.
Jade's happy to have you back.
Is she though?
Well, you know, a week, and then she'll be like, "Oh, go back to baseball."
So then, like, what happens when baseball's done? Like, what is going to be, having your eye set towards? Like, we all know if you start a show, you're not going to finish it. So
no, I've been good. There's only been 2 shows I feel like I've watched in the last 2 years, but I've stuck to them. Survivor. We were going to try and watch Agatha, or we did try and watch Agatha all along. It's not really for my youngest son.
Too scary.
He can't. It's a bit too much for him. So it's like, okay, well, that's going to be something I'm going to watch by myself. There's that. This here fine podcast. Many things to look forward to in the winter months, Corey.
So how far did you get in yourself with Agatha? Not that we're going to talk about it later.
Almost on the 3rd episode.
And
what is it? It's good. I mean, it is what it is. Are we talking about it now, or are we saving this for later?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
No plan.
Hey, listen, you go into that show with very little expectation, and also with the understanding that it is a TV Marvel Television production. Then you're fine. If you also go into it not expecting, the next big thing of the MCU storyline, then it's okay. I was looking at, was it Judy? The Black Witch, the bald one, the one with the potions, and I was like, fuck, I know her from somewhere. And it was bugging
Home
me.
Economics.
SNL.
SNL?
That's where I figured it out. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, Odom, I forget what her name is, but anyway, on SNL. It's okay though. The show is okay. I feel like it's very what's the sigil on his mouth, and like who put it there, and did you hear about Agatha's son? I was like, all signs point to this being her son, and she's the one who put the sigil on him so that she couldn't find out that it's him, and that they could kind of keep their separation from one another. That's my belief anyway. What purpose?
2 episodes in, you said?
Sorry?
You're 2 episodes in?
No. I mean the 3rd one. I'm almost on the 3rd one.
Oh, almost on the 3rd one.
Where they start walking down the road. Roads.
The roads.
Roads. It's funny when you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't know what I was expecting, but I did not expect we are going down the road, and each episode is going to be the obstacle. So there's 9 episodes. Are we going to expect 9 obstacles? And then it's
how many are there?
I think there's 9 episodes.
No. But how many in that coven, including the teenage boy? 6? 4? No.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5
6.
counting. Well, the old lady's dead.
I didn't know that.
Wasn't it said like at the end of episode 2?
Which old lady?
The
from the 70s show?
Kitty from the 70s show, yeah. It literally ends with that.
Maybe it's the 2nd episode I'm watching then. Because the one I'm watching is the one where they were in the
Did you have
house.
did you see the disco one?
House drinking the wine.
That's the 2nd episode.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, so it's not. Anyway, I mean, I knew she was not built for MCU longevity, let's just say.
And like the ironic thing about it is like literally that episode aired and they kill off her character on that. less like a week later, they canceled that 90 show. So like double-edged sword for her. Deborah Joe.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Maybe she'll, try to that 2000 show. That's possible.
I mean, we didn't need that one.
That's 2 decades ago. Jesus. A friend of mine today was telling me that he's a teacher, and he was talking to his grade 9 class, and the topic of the 2010 Olympics came up, and he's like, man, I can't believe that was 14 years ago. That's crazy. And the students in this class were like, we weren't born when that happened. And it's like hit him like a brick wall. Like, my God, how old am I? Anyway.
Which one was the 2010 Olympics?
Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The golden goal. The golden goal. It all starts to meld together, really, at the end of the day, right?
Why do I think that was later?
Just
reasons?
The reasons. That's right. Reasons.
Maybe because it just didn't seem it was that long ago. I don't know.
Because it doesn't seem like that's that long ago.
Time, how relative you are.
Right? Sidney Crosby was only in the league for 5 years. He's now coming up to his, 20th? Crazy. What are you going to do?
Sports talk. It's the most entertaining of all talk, isn't it?
At times.
So you watched SNL? How's the season going thus far?
Yeah, we're not completely done the first episode. But we've watched a lot of it. No, we've watched a lot of it. We've watched, I think we might have like 20 or 30 more minutes left of the episode. But it's good. It's there's 3 new actors, I guess, characters that are featured characters on the season.
Primetime players?
Yeah. But there's one Hispanic actor on the show, and he was a featured character, and now he's like an actual cast member. And he's going to be that next star. You kind of look for those characters that are going to be the next big thing in SNL, and I think he's going to be one of them. So did you watch it?
No, I've watched SNL I think Eddie was the last time I watched it when he came back and hosted.
My God.
And before that, we're talking years before that.
Jesus. Okay.
But I did see a thing that talked about the alumni and the highest grossing at the box office. The top 5 here. You have any guesses who would be in that list?
Cast members who are the top 5 grossing cast members?
So SNL alumni who are the top 5 highest grossing at the domestic box office in terms of their movies. The top 5 here. Care to venture a guess of which one you think is who you think is on there, and who do you think would be number 1?
I think Adam Sandler's number 1. I think Mike Myers is up there.
Is that your definitive responses?
I'm going to say those are 2 of the 5 for sure. I'm going to say Adam Sandler's number 1.
You want to give one more guess? See if we get 3 on there.
Will Ferrell.
Any more? I'm going to show.
Yeah, there's 5, right? So I can.
You can try to guess. Well, I'll let you know if they're on there or not. But you'll. I'm going to
say there's going to be some obscure one season on there. Bullshit. There is for sure. There's someone on that list that's not obvious. I'm going to say fucking Tina Fey, and one more will be.
I'll give you an obscure one that's not on here, but you'd think going to your reference of like one season. Robert Downey Jr. is not on this list.
Okay, he's not on the list.
No.
Okay. Okay, so then I'm gonna go with.
Well, you think of it like fucking Avengers is like 3 of those are $1 billion movies, but no.
Dan Aykroyd. Did they say Dan Aykroyd?
You did not.
Okay.
Well, you got 3 of the 5. None of them are in the top or number 1. So
Wow.
you'd
I thought
think
Adam
I would
Sandler was
remember
for
how the
sure.
hell to fucking do this. Here we go.
Technology.
Bill Murray, number 5, 1.98 billion. Mike Myers, number 4, 2.09 billion. Adam Sandler,
Eddie Murphy.
2.86. At number 3, Will Ferrell, 2.88 billion at number 2. And yeah, Eddie Murphy, 3.58. Now, if you look
Wow.
in the parentheses underneath those totals, it lists the number of movies that they were in that make that total. So if you were to line them up all the same, like let's say the lowest year, Mike Myers only did 16 movies, but $2 billion. I wonder I would inflate or deflate all those numbers.
Can you get your open color calculator, and I want you to break it down per film for each of these, because 46 by 300. But that's why. So one of the reasons why I didn't even think of Eddie Murphy was because the box, I guess, time value of money, right? Like the domestic box office of when he was the biggest star wasn't pulling in what Adam Sandler was pulling in with his movies. So I guess I'm wrong. Clearly I'm wrong. Bill Murray though. Huh.
3.58 billion across 46 is 77.83 million.
Okay, that checks out. That checks out on average. Because there was some Nutty Professor was pretty big.
Yeah, we had
Dr. Dolittle.
Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Daycare.
Coming to America.
Dr. Dolittle. Coming to
48
America.
hours.
Places. 48 hours. Another 48 hours. It'd be interesting if they actually didn't have a link. I literally just saw the image, but I wonder if the stand-up films are in there.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Because they were huge.
Yeah.
Just like were the Adam Sandler tapes in that 2.86 billion. Remember those tapes?
Yes.
That was like underground comedy before there was underground comedy.
Everybody was doing Toll Booth Willie.
That's right. And then, interesting.
Well, I thought so. Imagine having $3.5 billion. It'd be nice.
No. That'd be amazing. I'd be podcasting with you from Mexico like every week.
Well, the thing I was going to say is you have the movies made 3.5 billion. He didn't. So what's the clout there? I don't have this money, but my star power brought in this money.
It's the future movies that he will sign up for. Christ, even if you made 20, I got paid $5 million for a movie. Oh, you mean the movie that you were on set at a beautiful location, enjoying months and months of pampering?
Yeah, you're big when in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, where it was cheaper for Sony not to have him on set, because if he was on set, he was getting paid. So most of the stunt work is done by stuntman with no face, and he's just ad voice ADR after the fact.
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, this would have been what was this? Would this have been around Pleasantville and what's that horse movie?
Yeah, it was after all that. It was the final movie in the contract. So, plus he had back issues and this and that. But
was he one of Hollywood's A-listers at the time of Spider-Man 3?
I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
We're talking the first movie made $400 million. Second one, just shy of that.
Just a few shillings.
Just a couple.
Few shillings.
Well, dare I say, we let you take over. And whoa, the glasses are coming out. Well, while you get ready, let's get the intro going.
In the vast world of pop culture, movies, TV shows, and characters are not always what they seem. Some are beloved, others controversial, and a few downright guilty. These are their stories.
Especially the second installment of Law and Color. You ever use alien tape?
No, but I've seen a commercial for it. I saw a commercial for it yesterday or the day before. It was alien spray. It wasn't tape.
So it's like this big thick two-way tape. It's kind of like
Duct tape almost.
No, it's more rubbery, so it's like squishy and stuff. So I had a piece of it on my USB hub to have it kind of anchored to my desk so I didn't move around. But because I had to move stuff to set up a new hard drive, I took it off and I had it sitting on the table. I picked it up and then I just crumpled it into a ball, so it's like a squishy ball. I have not stopped playing with it, so I had to throw it out, or I'm just going to keep squishing it around and ripping it up and fidgeting like a child.
Recess is over, so court was adjourned.
I know.
Now calling everybody back to the courthouse.
That's right.
Now, having recently graduated Open Collar University and passed my bar exam, this is my first long collar. I will be, as a prosecuting lawyer, representing the good folks of fandom. I'll be providing you with some an opening statement and conclusion. So whenever you are ready, I shall begin.
Oh, I'm born ready.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today I stand before you to argue why DC should cease the use of Viola Davis's character, Amanda Waller, in their cinematic universe. Let's cut to the chase, okay? This is an overplayed character. I thought I lost my camera for a second. I'm back. First, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? DC's cinematic universe is a chaotic mess that we're well aware of, with no clear roadmap until James Gunn proves us otherwise. They keep throwing characters at us without any coherent plan. Amanda Waller, despite Viola Davis's stellar performance, debatable, has become a symbol of this disarray. Her character is supposed to be ruthless, a no-nonsense leader, but instead she's been reduced to a plot device many, many, many times over, used to patch up gaping holes in DC's storytelling. Let's talk about the feedback from the fans, shall we? Many argue that keeping Viola Davis as Amanda Waller is like trying to polish a turd. Sure, she's a fantastic actress, but even the best actresses can't save a sinking ship. Fans expressed that her character feels out of place in the new direction DC is supposedly heading towards. Again, James Gunn, prove us wrong. They want fresh new faces and storylines, not the same old actors being dragged out through the mud once again for the same old plot device that I had just mentioned a few moments ago. Furthermore, Amanda Waller's character is being criticized for being very, very one-dimensional. She's portrayed as cold, calculated, a bureaucrat, and with no depth. This lack of character development makes her boring and predictable. It's like watching paint dry or the grass grow. Fans have pointed out that other portrayals of Waller, like CCH Pounder's animated version, had more layers and complexity. In the words of the great prosecutor, Johnny Cochran, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Well, Amanda Waller doesn't fit in the new DCU, and it's time to acquit her of this cinematic mess. Let's not forget that when the new 52 was created by DC, Waller's design was heavily criticized for turning her into just another super attractive super agent, undermining her classic traits. This shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the character by DC's creative team. In conclusion, my friends on the bench, it's time for DC to stop flogging this dead horse. Amanda Waller's character has run its course. It's time to move on. Let's give the fans what they want, a fresh new start with characters and stories that will actually make sense and be enjoyable and have fun. And with that, I rest my case.
I never understood.
This can't be good.
Was it just to have a Nick Fury?
I thought you were going to say, I never understood how you passed your bar exam, Steve.
No. We all pay off people. That's what we do. Was it just like, hey, you have Nick Fury, we have the female Nick Fury? Was that the whole concept of?
Yeah, possibly. But then again, who in DC was like? She was the.
Like, I don't mean
She
necessarily in
was
the
the.
comics. I mean, like in the movie series, we need to have like a linchpin that holds it all together. So,
She
like,
wasn't.
we'll use we'll use this as our Nick Fury because he's in Iron Man, then he shows up over here, and then he shows up over here, and that's what we're gonna do. He's gonna put all this together.
And there's so many different things too, right? Like Nick Fury works with the government. There's mystery. He's got all of his hands in different puzzles and pies and pieces of shit that's going on. Amanda Waller, same thing. The unfortunate thing is that it could have worked if it was done properly, but it wasn't. And then it was just okay, let's roll the dice again. Let's just one more hit. I swear it'll be the last time. It wasn't the case.
I'm also thinking too, like, does the fault lie with Warner Brothers and rushing it all? Like, to have Waller show up in, I guess it was Suicide Squad, the first one, and you have like she's this hard ass woman that's putting this group of supervillains together, and you F up, we're gonna kill you. And it's not like you don't feel as an audience member that attitude is earned, it's warranted, because we haven't really had, like you said, flesh out this character. Whereas does the fault lie with Marvel in having Sam Jackson? So we know who Sam Jackson is being Nick Fury. We just expect Sam Jackson to be like, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Tony Stark, but he's just Robert Downey Jr. Nick Fury is essentially just Sam Jackson. So we expect a certain, bravado out of the character just because it's Sam Jackson, that it doesn't have to be earned, doesn't have to be justified. This is just what we're looking for. So when you have Viola Davis playing the hard ass, we're like, well, this isn't earned because we expected it one way. We don't know why it's going on this side. So it's kind of, we don't like it, but it's not necessarily their fault because they're trying to rush to catch up to these guys, and she's trying to just emulating what they have over here.
Yeah, I think too. It's very ironic where, you mentioned a point that stuck with me where it was, DC, and I think it's obviously well known, but DC is widely known for rushing their movies, for hastily releasing movies and promising there'll be, interconnected webs that bind everything together when it doesn't clearly do that. But the one constant for them that was never rushed, that was never haste, that was never, unthought of, was Amanda Waller. So I find it ironic that the one person that wasn't rushed, that's not who they built the story around. If they really knew that they wanted to, roll her out for however many movies she was involved in, then they should have built the universe around her, much like Marvel did. And Marvel did it in a way where, again, it wasn't done before, so there was no blueprint to follow. But Marvel could have had Fury, the story be around Fury, and it kind of was, but it was not. The focus wasn't on that; it was more on the characters. And then it turned out that he was kind of in the background. But if DC wanted to have some success, they could have pumped the brakes. They could have not been so quick with just pumping out content. Knowing that they were going to use this character time and time again, they could have just built a story around her. And it might not, and who knows, it might not have been successful. It could have still shit the bed, but at least it would have been a bit more cohesive than like, what's Amanda Waller doing here? Like, what's the connection? You haven't seen Black Adam, but I can't remember. I feel like she was in Black Adam too.
No, I still haven't watched that. It was like I had no interest in Black Adam, just because I haven't interest in any other DC movies. But then all the stories about Dwayne and the handling of that movie that came out afterwards just made me not like him, which really cemented my wish to not see that movie.
That's fair. The only reason why I saw it is because Black Adam and Shazam are characters of mine from DC that I really like.
And look what happened there.
Yes, it did not go successful.
Who would have thought Captain Marvel was voting for the felon?
Do we have a gavel sound yet, or no?
No.
Oh,
See, the funny thing is, though, like when I started this, the whole idea of this, I was thinking more of like a people's court. You know, like, and now to the courtroom is the defendant. But then the law and collar thing just came up after. So I don't know.
this is great. You got me vibing right now.
Oh, there you go.
Little people's courts.
Little porno's court.
That's right. That's right.
We should have a gavel like the
defendant
guilty
walked into the comic book shop and demanded a return on his Funko character, and
yeah, they need that.
yeah, that's right.
That's what he's suing for. And then now it's the plaintiff.
It's always
He's
one
accused
person.
of being. Yeah.
It's always one that comes out a little cross-eyed and, you know, not fit for better, and
Yeah, like bumps into the door as they're trying to get through the courtroom.
It's like fumbling his. Sir, shut up.
Your Honor. I have pictures.
I have pictures. I have receipts.
Yeah, I have. This is when I, sold him the 1994 Pontiac.
Sir,
Tempest.
that's a McDonald's receipt. Oh, sorry, it's my other pocket.
Yeah.
My other
and it's for like, $1,200.
Were those
flew out to California.
Were those legit? Like, was that legit?
So my understanding of all of these shows is it's prize money. So you forfeit and sign over any legal right you have to this case to any actual small claims court to come over here for a chance to win the prize money that's allotted up to maximum, I think, $5,000 on their show. So then so if you don't win, you forfeit your right to sue them after. Any sort of actual legal litigation you've signed off in order to appear on the show.
Okay. I'm frozen, by the way.
Or you're very deep in thought, one of the two.
That's what we'll go with. Oh, wait. Am I
back?
The
Faceless Wonder is
back. What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. You need a new computer.
I do.
Oh, I lost you. Well, this is entertaining. Well. As I'm by myself, I guess I'll move into... Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
You're back. Don't play with the game. Oh, you're gone again. Back for a third time.
It seems that when I press mute, I leave. And then
because you don't have a camera, I guess that's why.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Oh man, I am here. Just wake me up when it's my time to speak.
Okay. What do you want to do? You want to ad break, then go to Geek News, or this day and?
Oh, we got options.
I have stuff. More things to talk about, yes, but more things to give you time to.
The comment section. The comment section would say, "Let's go to the commercial." Oh my god. there are
chain over the turtleneck.
There are commercials. First of all, that actor looked like a mix of Tom Holland and there was someone else, and I lost it. But anyway, there are times when you see a commercial like this and you have not thought about that commercial for 30 years. And then as soon as you see, in this case, the Pop-Tart dancing around with the hydraulics and whatnot, you knew immediately that it was going to be followed up with a bam. Like you just knew. I knew it. It was like, oh, so there is some space in my brain still that has memories to pull off of. Wow. Yeah. And it made me want to eat.
What flavor was that Pop-Tart?
I'm going to say it was like a fruit, not like a fruit explosion, but it was almost like it wasn't blueberry, but it was like a purple.
I'll give this. It does have berry in the name.
Yeah. Wild berry?
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have been more on it. Because I had, like, you know, the fucking...
Bam! I love it.
That commercial was in 2002.
Oh my God, for real? No.
For real.
There's no way I was 22 years old when that commercial came up.
With the racing, like Fast and Furious was big around that time, right?
Dude was dressed in 90s attire, like from top to bottom. There's no really 2002, like legit.
2002. Swear that is literally it was Pop-Tart's Bam commercial parentheses 2002.
Wow. Okay.
Just gonna have to deal with it.
So maybe my memory isn't that good.
But you remember the commercial. I don't remember when it was, but you remember the commercial.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Boom. Don't have the slide because I just thought of it. But have you seen how much shit the Joker's getting from all sides?
No, but I'm not surprised.
It opened today.
Yes, that's right.
And so
they owe people money. That's how bad it's.
It was a $200 million budget. Okay. Which I think is like twice, if not more than twice, the budget of the first movie. It was.
Can we put a pin in that for a second?
Sure.
Like, we'll come back to that after your point. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm putting a pin in the 200 million.
Okay. So we all know the first one made $1 billion. The expectation was this movie was going to open to probably make back its budget within the first weekend. As of today, based on tracking reviews and everything they're seeing, it's unlikely to hit 50 million opening weekend. Made less. I think they said it made 5 million in its previews. It made less than The Flash did in early previews. It's made, I think, around the same amount of money as the Marvels did for their Thursday previews. It is currently sitting at 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is a review score. The audience score, now this is people who have seen it since it opened last night and today.
Can I take a guess?
Go ahead.
24%.
It's a 36%. So critics and fans are, for the first time in a long time with respect to a comic book property, are thinking the same. Peace exists again in the world of fandom and criticism. People are, like, I've heard people say, I'm sitting in a theater full of people and there's audible groans. Some people have left. People are like on their phones. They're like fidgeting. They're not into this whatsoever. And a lot of it is saying is they hid the fact, if you didn't see the trailers and things, hid the fact that it's a musical very well. And it's angered a lot of people.
Did it though? Because I mean, I'm not really.
No, not me. I knew it was going to be crap because I hated the first one to begin with.
No, but I knew it was going to be a musical.
Yeah, I was saying if you weren't paying attention and just said, "Oh, fuck, Joker's coming out."
So is that the only reason why people don't like it?
I think so. It feels like it's a big fuck you to the hardcore bro guys who like the first one.
Hey, listen, I get it. I hate musicals as much as the next person, but I don't think I would. Yeah. Sorry, just going back to the 200 million.
Mm-hmm. Please.
So the first one, I haven't seen it. I have no interest in seeing the movie. I get the vibe that it's like an art house movie. Is that right?
Yeah.
And if that's
basically like the King of Comedy, but set in the DC universe.
Right. And so, first of all, I mean, 100 million under that context seems like an awful lot to begin with. If you want it to be art housey and if you want to be like grounded and you know, all of that, why would you need to increase it to 200 million? It just seems like a bit erroneous.
I feel as though it's one of those, if they're going to give it to me, why not? But it was a big swing. Like Todd Phillips took a big swing with this movie, and it seems like there was a big swing in this.
The Hangover's Todd Phillips?
Yeah.
And he did the first one?
He did.
Oh, sometimes.
The funny thing is people were comparing this to The Hangover 2, and it's basically saying Todd Phillips does not know how to do a sequel right.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, if it tracks, right?
That's correct. So, yeah.
Do you have any intention of seeing it?
I do not. Put it up there with Black Adam.
Is it, now what if it were like, hey, you're just sitting on the couch one night flipping through the channels and it's on, would you watch it? Or would you continue?
I really didn't like the first one so much that I have no interest to see them do it again, even in a different respect.
Yeah, I have no interest in it. Like, I would be like, oh, G.I. Joe's, the movie is on? Yeah, I'll watch that instead.
The Channing Tatum one?
With Channing Tatum? Yes, I'll watch that one instead.
Well, the first one has its moments. It has Brendan Fraser show up in it.
It's true. Kicking some ass and taking names.
So we speak. Oh, wait. Lawsuits. Did you see this lawsuit? So Marvel and DC have lost their superhero trademark. They no longer own the trademark for the word superhero.
That's pretty big news.
Yeah, U.S. court canceled the joint superhero trademark after a legal challenge. So superhero, the term, is free for public use.
Where did this lawsuit come from?
Law firm of Reichman, Jorgensen, Lehman, and Feldberg announced a landmark victory in its trademark case against comic publishers Marvel and DC Comics. They obtained an order from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office canceling DC Marvel's joint trademark, the word superhero, and thus allowing their client, S.J. Reichhold and Super Babies Limited, to freely use the term. Let me see here. It doesn't say exactly where.
Yeah, I mean, superhero, it should be kind of public. It should be public. I don't think it should be. Yeah.
They've held the trademark case since 1977. Oh, sorry. 78, 79, 79, 80.
I would have figured it was held on a lot longer before that. I wonder if they did that because of the Superman movie. I'm curious. Because if not, why would they not have trademarked it?
So this is superhero singular word, and then superhero, which is two words, and other prominent.
So which one did they lose? The singular or the two? Not that it matters. Superhero.
Yeah, the lawsuit, at least according to this article, lists the word superhero as two words, superhero.
Well, that's stupid.
I'm assuming.
I mean,
the case argued that superhero is a generic term, so I guess putting it as a singular word also then is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man's hyphenated, but Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. What's the Seinfeld with the tax or the librarian? The guy Bookman. It's a bookman, but Bookman.
Yeah.
I don't know why they
friends with Phil Spiderman.
Phil Spiderman.
It's not his name. He's a Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So yeah, like at the end of the day, does it change anything really?
No.
Like if it's public domain, they don't have to pay anybody for using superhero. They just, I don't even think they even got paid if somebody else used the term superhero.
How much? Like, what kind of check where you cutting for that kind of use back then.
I don't know. It seems kind of like stupid.
Trivial.
It's like yeah, it's like when Donald had The Apprentice and he wanted to trademark the term "you're fired."
Doesn't surprise me.
It's a sentence. You can't trademark a sentence.
Long collar, quick. Trademark. Everything.
You know how much money it costs to do that kind of thing?
I know.
It's more than I got.
It's true. Any of our good viewers or listeners out there?
Yeah, go a Kickstarter.
Yeah, you want to kickstart this, please.
We need to trademark our ideas. I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about during your lawn caller, since we're talking about it. If James Gunn's going to write the ship. Did you see this?
Uh-oh.
So, movie in the works called Dynamic Duos. It's the origin story of two Robins.
Together?
Yeah, it's an animated movie. I guess it's not set within the main connected story. Matt Reeves apparently is also going to be a exec producer on it. So many freaking companies involved in this, but it's supposed to follow. Where is it? Shit, I had it and then I hit a thing. Jason Todd and Tim Drake.
This doesn't pass.
No, sorry, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Yeah, this doesn't pass the smell test for me. With the
this
name
is
like Dynamic.
100% confirmed.
Dynamic Duo. So when someone says to you as a fanboy, Dynamic Duo, who do you immediately think of?
Batman and Robin?
Yeah, not Robin and Robin. There are no Robin. Like, no, this is just. All right. Can I go back to the jury? Has the case
James Gunn's been served.
Honest to God. You know, stay tuned for the next lawn caller. You know, we talked about how Marvel got over aggressive following Endgame, where it was like content, and obviously, like there was a bit of a direction from the shareholders or the board of governors rather to like put out content on Disney Plus. But besides the point, it was just get shit out there for people to view. We haven't seen one movie from him yet, and I feel like there's a lot. Yeah. It's not simple. I
think that's kind of what you get when you put a creator in charge of a studio. They want to just create.
And but what's wrong with actually like creating something and putting that one thing out, letting it grow and flourish and make a shit ton of money, all the while you're festering your ideas and thinking about them for the next big thing instead of just puking everywhere like verbal diarrhea, saying, "Oh, I've got this, I've got this, I've got that."
Because I don't know, ego maybe. You just think every idea you have is a good idea, and now there's no one to tell you not to do it. So, hey, if they're going to pay for it, let's get it out there.
You know what? Maybe it's a little bit of that. Maybe it's a little bit of pressure from the company, but I don't know. I think DC is cursed when it comes to live action movies.
Yeah, I guess
I really do. I mean, it's the curse of the Bambino.
Show that again. This Joker movie would show that again. People just don't trust the brand.
I think if Superman, although I think it's this Superman take is a take where it's one that hasn't been done before, where apparently it's a well-established Superman, and this is where the movie picks up. So, okay, so there's a potential that could be, you know, good story. Is it going to be all about real estate and
not another real estate?
Yeah, honestly, and interest rates were just lowering. Yeah, we'll see.
It's wild that you did the Christopher Reeve Superman, and then you do 3 more sequels, and then you break and you come back and you're gonna do a movie that it's paying homage and kind of set within that same universe, and then you're gonna go Luthor again and real estate.
Yeah.
Is that really all he's good for? Is just he has he knows property. He knows how to move it.
Is it tough because Superman is that alien living on an adopted world, and it's the Earth that he lives on which gives him the powers that he has, right, from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, you're tethered to the Earth, but it's kind of holding you back a little bit because here's a character where you can put him into the cosmos, and then you have some pretty interesting stories against all kinds of aliens and beings and races out in the universe.
This is true, but does he have a condo on the east side? Because
it's on the west side, so
I can put you in a 2-bedroom overlooking the river.
I can lock you in. It's portable.
Just saying.
If you decide to change your mind in 3 years before the term's up and you've hit maturity, if you want to go to the moon, we can port it to the moon.
Just saying, man. Like, you are 15 minutes from downtown, 20 from the park. Like, this shit is priced to move.
But you gotta let me know, because I got people knocking down the door. Like, they want to get in to view this. You're first writer.
Martian Manhunter already called me this morning. He has an interest.
Oh shit!
That's Luthor for you.
Real estate.
Right? Like, I don't understand it.
They could totally do Brainiac. I think we saw it in Supergirl a little bit.
Brainiac just looks cool.
You know what? I would even be bold. I mean, listen, if you're gonna be this bold in the sense of like just rehashing the same storyline over and over and over again, then why don't you be bold and bring back what was the bad guy's name in Quest for Peace? Sunman? Like, was it Sunman, Solar Man?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about with the nails.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man.
Yeah. So why don't you bring him back? Like, that would be good. I will say though,
Although you have to save Nuclear Man in the comics first.
When that movie came out, that was one of the first times I ever remember seeing a movie being like, oh my god, like two superheroes, like two super powered beings fighting one another. Because I don't think there was one before that. Like, there wasn't. Where it was like, this is like it's an equal playing.
They both have capes.
They both have capes, and the one guy, he's got cocaine nails. Radioactive cocaine nails.
That's right. He's just doing a bump before each fight.
That's right. And then who knew that all it took was throwing him in a friggin' elevator and closing the door, and then boom, problem solved.
That's right.
Wash your hand of that.
Although, if you think about it, shouldn't like Superman also really be Nuclear Man? Like, his whole thing is getting power through radiation from the sun.
Right, but it's at a cellular level, so it drains. And you know what, Tom King had a really good. Actually, James Gunn is doing a story about it, a Supergirl story, Woman of Tomorrow, where she left Earth to go and just search for a purpose. But when she left Earth, she didn't realize that her extended time away from the sun was slowly depowering her because she was being rejuvenated. And so as the story goes on, she starts off where she's able to fight these aliens, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, my hand hurts, or oh, I'm got a bruise, and next thing you know, she's starting to become more normal. And it's how do I fix that while helping this person find the murderer of her father? So my point being is that with Superman, it's a slow, like, it wouldn't be as spontaneous as it would be for Nuclear Man. You would need to have him be away from the sun for a prolonged amount of time before he's lost his power. Nerd alert.
And while you're away, Luthor has a beach house. It's perfect for families.
Just saying. Complete turnkey. Complete turnkey. Okay? Let us worry. Let us have the worries.
Yeah.
You
It's
just
former Airbnb. They put it up for sale. You guys are gonna love it. So back to bad ideas.
oh God.
Because you're all for it. So you know our good friend over there at Sony, used to be with Marvel, Avi Arad.
Oh right, yes.
Um,
How is he
oh,
doing these days? Have you checked him?
well, yeah, a little bit. He's over there now at DC Studios, and word on the street is we're getting a villain movie over there too. Maybe 2 movies. He apparently is the mastermind for a DC Elseworlds project about Bane and Deathstroke. Then he's looking at doing a Mr. Freeze movie.
Is this leading to something?
This is straight up. So this is a quote. This is after our Bane and Deathstroke feature. I plan to move my attention to a Mr. Freeze solo feature and build to a larger villains universe similar to my work at Sony. I hope to reunite with Morbius star Jared Leto and bring back former DC Joker. So remember when we had hopes of DC writing this ship?
Wait a minute. So, could you bring the jury back in, please? I have new evidence. I have a superseding charge I'd like to lay on DC. Okay.
So there you go.
All right. Let's
move
do
over.
it.
Sinister Six. We're getting the fucking Legion of Doom movie first.
And it's like you say, Corey, every time, which makes perfect sense. I don't know whether or not listening to you. How do you expect to make a movie franchise out of a fucking villain?
I mean, if you have no, like, you can't make the bad guys the good guys in a movie, then say they're the bad guys.
I don't get it.
That's what makes them a bad guy. They need the the villain needs the hero to fight off of. To play against.
And then, you see, and then I just know what's going to happen with this is they're going to bring back, like, what's the guy's name that played Bane? Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy?
Yeah, they're going to bring him back, and it's going to be like, that's the big splash that they have. It's going to be Deathstroke's going to be the one that played Flash Thompson in the OG trilogy.
Joe Manganiello?
Yeah, thank you. And that's going to be their big splash. And it's like, oh, great, that's awesome. They're going to either reprise their role or play the role that they were expected to play for this long. What's going to happen after that? Nothing. We got nothing. Crickets.
I mean, like, is that like now going to be DC's like gotcha to Marvel? Is like, we have an interconnected story, but we also have throwaways. You guys doing everything that's all one big story. So we can have our main thing over here, but then we can try new things over here.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, though? If it wasn't for shit like this, we wouldn't have a podcast, really. So,
I mean,
thank you.
Unless we're just going to be recapping fucking Vanderpump episodes.
Vanderpump. Yeah. Don't get me started on Vanderpump. The shit that Lisa's doing these days, Corey.
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, I could tell you if you. How much time ago? What time is it? 9:12. How much? What time do we have?
I don't know.
Pull up, eh? Suddenly, Corey's camera turns off.
Yeah, we'll just shut her down, shall we?
That's right. Well, I guess it was kind of fitting that we, and for the good listener and viewer out there, Corey did not know what the topic of my conversation would be for Long Caller, and then it comes full circle with Geek News. So I'm just telling you.
Did you finish The Mandalorian yet?
No. We're on episode 3 or 4 of season 3. He just went back to the what do you call it, like the sanctuary for the Mandalorians, and gave them the waters, the waters of Mandalore, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And he's been redeemed, and so has Bo-Katan. As I know I said last week, man, but season 3 is by far my favorite season. I am loving it.
Okay, well then you are going to be loving this story. So where it is, due to the poor reception of season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Is this for real?
Swear to God. The upcoming Mandalorian movie, The Mandalorian Grogu, is going to be the swan song of The Mandalorian. They've scrapped season 4. They turned it into a movie, and then that's going to be all she wrote. The character might continue in other projects, but this is going to be the end for this particular property.
So shit, I'm clearly on an island with season 3, I guess.
Clearly.
I don't know what, like, I just, everything about that's everything. I like this, the different planets that they're traveling to, the fight scenes, the chase scenes with the fighter pilots or the spaceships and whatnot. Clearly, I'm the only one that thinks like that. So
I enjoy it. I think they've, for me, each season has gone down, but not like, we have season 1, then season 2, then a drop off. I think they're all kind of close to each other. It's not like a Godfather 2, and then
yeah, I found that season 2 definitely dropped from season 1, but I felt it picked up from season 2 to 3. And I don't know, maybe it's because, like, did the Book of Boba help? I don't know. We watched the Book of Boba in between season 2 and 3 off of your advice.
Yeah, you got Book of Boba, then you have Mandalorian season 2.5 episodes. It just drops Boba and just focuses strictly on Mando.
Yeah, it becomes Mando 2.5, right?
Yeah, and then.
So what comes after season 3 of Mando?
Nothing.
No. I mean, in terms of, like, is it a Ahsoka or?
I mean, like, it doesn't really tie anything into.
It's just show. Like, whatever the fuck you want, man.
Yeah, like, it's Ahsoka's her own thing. She shows up in season 2 of Mando, and then 2 years later she's got a show, and like she's off doing her own thing.
Yeah,
and like the Acolyte got canceled, and also wouldn't bother watching it.
Arlo's really digging Star Wars right now, so we have to continue watching it after season 3. We've got to find something. So I told him, I said, there's a bunch of options,
like the Clone Wars,
the Bad Bunch, anything like that. But it's live action.
Oh, it has to be live action. Andor, but it's kind of more adult.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But it's still, like, it's Disney adult, right?
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's kind of really all I had for this evening. But I do have this week, this day in, if you want to check that out. So, without further ado.
Good evening. I am not Burt Reynolds. Now for Open Collars, this day in pop culture history. On this day, October 4th, 1985, something magical happened for toy fans, the launch of the Thundercats action figures, capitalizing on the popularity of the animated series. These toys, created by LJN, captured the imaginations of countless children with characters like Lion-O, Mum-Ra, and the Thundercats gang. They became iconic collectibles, solidifying their place in toy history. And that's what happened. This day in pop culture history. For Open Collar, I am not Burt Reynolds. Now back to Corey and Steve.
They were great. They were great toys.
I think I only had a line.
Bigger. I had Panthera, I had Lino, I had Tigra, I had Mumra.
And Tigra, yes.
And that was it. I always wanted the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted, we need to find this as a commercial for an upcoming episode, but there was the toy where it was the Lino's blade, and it would extend, and you'd be able to see like eye for an eye. And I wish I was on camera so I could show you. But it was his sword, because if you remember in the TV show, it started off small. It was like a dagger that grew into a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he said Thundercats, oh, there was a toy, and I always wanted that toy. Never had that chance. Thundercats. It's every episode.
Why we do this? Yeah, just parents let you down.
That's right.
I could probably do an entire like segment of just listing the shit that we did not get, and have this playing in the background.
We should honestly just the scrolling. It's like a Star Wars scroll, right?
Yeah, or like an in memoriam. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Fight back the tears. Push it down.
I feels like that could easily be like when we get closer to Christmas. It'll be like not the stuff that we toys that we remember having. It's the shit we didn't get. Remember when you were asked that for Christmas, Santa Claus for this for Christmas that I didn't get?
Yes, that's definitely got to be a segment. 100%. I've got my list.
Broken childhood.
I've got my list. For a long time, viewers and listeners, last year, if you remember, we looked through a catalog. That was fun.
Right. The Wish Book.
Got to revisit that, because you know what, Corey? As much as we hate to admit it or try to deny it, it is fast approaching.
Right.
The cold weather. Oh my God. Did we just do old man cold weather talk at the end of the episode?
We did. I was just gonna say we had kids wanting to go to the park today, so we get to the park and I find like it's 20 degrees, yet there's a breeze. I find it chilly. I wish I had a jacket on. And so it was, I think 6:15, and I'm looking and the lights are all on, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, is it dark? I'm looking around, like it's overcast. It's a little darker than what it normally is. But then within like 5 minutes, I'm like, oh shit! Like if we're here another half an hour, it's gonna be pitch black.
And the clock hasn't even gone back yet.
I know, it's even sadder. Yes, it was the Christmas wish list is what we had last year, which I'm assuming will be again this year.
A fan favorite. It's a fan favorite.
Yeah, we didn't even do a Shocktober like we did last year too.
Well, October's just begun.
Yeah, but we beat that dead horse into the ground. I think we said all we needed to do that.
You know what? Though? We could do maybe something for the interns or for our producers to discuss, but maybe we do a segment on Halloween candy before Hallows Eve.
And then that'll be a favorite Halloween candy, and then later, since we're older, it'll be the Halloween candy we can't eat anymore without getting heartburn.
Or the medicine you take after eating candy.
Yeah, I love a good Twizzlers, but it's got to be before
right.
7, because anything after 7, I'm up all night.
It's the this helps with gastro and flatulence. Anyway, that's all for this week's episode of Open Collar. Thanks for joining us for another round of discussions and analysis on all things movies, TVs, comic books, toys, parents letting us down, medication.
Right.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a rating and review. Give us a follow on YouTube using or searching at Open Collar Pod. We appreciate your support and can't wait to bring you even more great content next week. But until then, this is Steve, and that over there is Corey signing off. And until then, keep it geeky, and we'll see you in the next episode of Open Collar.
Now, everyone's waiting for Pauly Shore.
Mom, wait, why are you going? Mom left me in college, man. USC, buddy. You know, it's like a lot of you people that are in the middle of the country are going, why don't you come out to Kentucky to go to college? Cause buddies, dude, USC is university of like spoiled children, dude. And I'm like a spoiled children, you know? And I figured, you know, it's like only 20 minutes from my pad, man. I'm gonna join a frat. I'm gonna be pumping kegs, bro. Pump the keg, man, no foam, dude. You know, the dudes with the foam will be like, too much foam, buddy. And, you know, I'm gonna be joining a sorority, maybe, you know, wheezing some sorority nugs. But right now, I'm gonna go check out the alumni house, because I'll skip the whole gig, man. Totally Poly show is over. For you guys gotta know, I gotta join college and get my stuff together. Check out a bit. Yo, bye. Later.